What's up, geeks and gamers? It's Odin coming to you with another video, and today we're talking about the box office breakdown for the Thanksgiving break. And so as you see up here right now, this is just for the weekend. Ralph Breaks the Internet is currently at #1 for the weekend with $55.6 million estimated gross, while Creed 2 is at $35.2 million. Both done very, very well. I mean, obviously, I think I don't think anyone in the right mind thought that Ralph Breaks the Internet was not going to be the smash hit that it was over the holiday break, because it is a kids movie. It's not only a kids movie, it's also a sequel to a very well-received movie, The First Wreck-It Ralph, which is actually a very, very good movie. I found it to be very entertaining, and I cannot wait to see Ralph Breaks the Internet because it just looks damn entertaining. Same thing with Creed 2. The first Creed was very entertaining as well. I think it was a very good step in the Rocky franchise. Obviously, I'm a huge fan of the original Rocky. I have all 5 of the original Rocky movies, including Rocky Balboa. And overall, I love them all. I know that they're not all the best made movies overall. I think Rocky Balboa might actually be the best made of all of them up until the Creed movie started to come out. But Creed 2 is doing very well, and I cannot wait to see it either. But the one that to me is actually really surprising, that is doing very, very well, and has seen very little drop from week to week, is Dr. Seuss's The Grinch. As you see, a loss of 21.7% from week 2 to week 3 is very small. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. Basically, the reason why is because I honestly, I think the reason why this is the case, why it is such a small dip, is because it was the holiday season. It was a holiday break. While people were being sold out going to see Ralph Breaks the Internet, Dr. Seuss's The Grinch was the next option, and so it makes a lot of sense that that would pick up a lot of that excess baggage, but also, too, because it is a holiday movie. Now people, after Thanksgiving, post-Thanksgiving, get into that Christmas spirit, get into the holiday season, so it makes a lot of sense that people would want to go see a Christmas movie. Again, I don't know why The Grinch came out in November, and also why we needed another Grinch movie altogether, I don't know, but still, $30 million for the weekend is, in its third weekend, is very surprising, is very impressive. This is the total gross for the domestic box office so far. $84 million for Ralph Breaks the Internet, $55 million for Creed 2, again, very impressive overall, and The Grinch is up to $180 million. That is just incredible. In 3 weeks, it is up to that much. You know, Stars Born, which came out 8 weeks ago, is only at $191 million for the domestic for the domestic totals, which again is very impressive for the movie that it is. But just to give you a bit of frame of mind, the third week, $180 million. This film is going to be making a lot of bank over the weekend. One movie that did not fare as well, Robin Hood 2018, $9.1 million for a total gross of $14.2 million, and this was in a lot of theaters. And I'm honestly not too surprised by this, because honestly, who was asking for another Robin Hood film? I think we've had our fair share of Robin Hood films. We don't need any more. You know, with Jamie Foxx, I could, you know, take him or leave him. It really doesn't matter to me. I'm just not a huge fan of his overall. I don't like his personality, but I do like him in certain movies. It doesn't make any sense. Like, for example, Baby Driver, I thought he fit perfectly well in Baby Driver, but everything else I've really seen of him, I'm like, I could live without him. But as you can see, Lionsgate had kind of a swing and a miss with this one, because it's only made $14.2 million in its opening weekend, which compared to the others is absolutely abysmal, and you know that this is going to have at least a 50% drop from week 1 to week 2, and so things are not looking good for Robin Hood. But I just wanted you all guys to see the top 10 movies that are making the top 10 highest grossing movies for the weekend, which is actually surprising because Fantastic Beasts obviously is still up there, Bohemian Rhapsody is still doing well, Instant Family is slowly going to be edging its way out, Widows is still in the discussion, Green Book, and to me the most impressive thing so far is definitely A Star is Born, because A Star is Born has been out now for 8 weeks and it's still in the top 10. It's still making money, and it makes a lot of sense because it is a very good movie. I liked it a lot. I thought the music was fantastic, so it makes a lot of sense that it would have that kind of staying power. But still, the fact that it's still in the top 10, made $3 million this weekend, is pretty impressive. The one that's not nearly as impressive is The Nutcracker in the Four Realms. This film is still bleeding money. I mean, it was made for $120 million worldwide. It's only made $122 million. And that is including this weekend's estimates. And so with that in mind, again, 60% of that $122 million, this film still has a lot of money that it needs to make if it wants to even break even. So this is definitely going to go down in history as a flop for Disney, which really isn't all that surprising. Big thing about Wreck-It Ralph, though, is that it delivers the second largest Thanksgiving opening ever. That's very impressive. Obviously, Creed 2, you know, getting $55 million is impressive, but the fact that Wreck-It Ralph 2, the fact that a sequel to a movie, and it's kind of this mindset where I want to see it, but at the same time, I almost don't want to see it because I don't want to keep supporting these sequels, because that's the reason why Hollywood continues to make sequels, continues to reboot, continues to do all these other things, because they're out of original ideas for starters, but also it's a lot easier for them to take a product, you know, take prior material and either revamp it or make a sequel to another property than it is to create their own new content, to create new characters, to create anything else. You know, obviously when you look to Disney, Pixar especially, they're ones that are actually making a lot more original content. For example, you look to Coco, you look to a lot of these other movies that are coming out that are very, very well done, at least from their Disney Pixar standpoint. But look at their live action lineup. They're remaking all of they're remaking all of their animated classic from the 90s. And honestly, I was not blown away by the Lion King trailer. I'm sorry. Like, to me, it just looks like really bad CGI. It looks like just unrealistic CGI. I don't know why. The question is, if a trailer leaves me with asking the question, why do you exist? Then it's not a good trailer. It does not look like a good movie, and that's how I feel about the Lion King movie. But anyway, Wreck-It Ralph is doing extremely well. Again, you take not only the domestic, but also the foreign totals, $125.9 million in its opening weekend, including Thanksgiving. So this film was already on pace to make a crap ton of money, like easily $500 million movie, if not more so. Again, when you look to the fact that it's you know, going against Moana ended up making $250 million just domestically, and this is already outpacing by $2.5 million Moana. So Wreck-It Ralph 2 is probably going to make a crap ton of money by the end of its run. Definitely going to make its money back, no question in my mind. Creed 2, again, respectable. $55 million. Again, this is going to be more of a domestic powerhouse. It's not going to do as well in foreign markets, and it'll do well in places like the UK. I mean, well enough to be able to make a little bit of money, but this is definitely going to be more of a domestic total, more of a domestic movie, and it makes a lot of sense because, once again, when you look to movies like this, these are obviously films made more for the American audiences than for anyone else, and so therefore the domestic total is what's going to be higher here. So that's why we don't even have any foreign totals yet. But this film still, I think, is going to make enough to where it's going to make back its budget, definitely make a profit. Definitely also, I think, set up for a Creed 3 and have a new trilogy. Now, of course, I've heard that Creed 2, you could just end with Creed 2, and from what I've heard, you would be totally fine. There would not be anything missing from the story. So for me personally, I can't wait to see it because I can't wait to make up my own opinion about it myself. But at the same time, it makes a lot of sense because, again, we're living in this era of sequels and prequels and reboots and all this other nonsense. Dr. Seuss's The Grinch, I mean, I thought it was going to make money because it was animated, but never in my wildest dreams did I think it would make like $215 million. And I have to say, probably the reason why this film, I think, is doing as well as it's doing is because of its marketing campaign. I remember like 6 months out, I was seeing trailers for this. I was seeing promos for this, where the Grinch would come up on my screen doing something random, not even in a trailer, but something else. So the marketing campaign for this was brilliant, and they're still marketing this film. So even after the film has been released, they are still doing that kind of marketing. With an hour and 30-minute runtime, you're able to put a lot of different showings in a day, in a single day. They made it for $75 million, which is actually kind of low on the lower end when you look to animated movies. And it's making a lot of money. So I have to say kudos to Universal. Kudos to Universal Animation for having winter on its hands, easily made back its budget, easily making, you know, it's all profit now at this point, and I think it's going to continue to make money, especially as you get further into the Christmas season. This is a film I think that's going to have a lot more staying power than other films that would have been like it in the past. Oh, man. When we look to The Crimes of Grindelwald, we see $439.7 million, so it's already surpassed. This came out November 16th, so already in a couple of weeks, this has already surpassed Solo: Star Wars Story, which is just hilarious for a lot of other reasons. But again, low rating from audiences, very low rating from critics, and yet it is making money. How do you explain that? Oh, the marketing campaign. Oh, shut up. Robin Hood. Oh, boy. $22.9 million. The production budget isn't listed. I can guarantee you it's over $100 million. This film is definitely going to be a flop. This film is definitely not going to make any money. If you just look at the fact that it's not making money overseas and it's not making money domestically either. Oh, man, oh, man, oh, man. Lionsgate Summit is going to have to, you know, write off this movie because it's not going to make its money back. And I will say, based on the trailers, I'm not that surprised because it just didn't look that good. And then the Nutcracker, as I said before, definitely going to be losing money. But anyway, guys, what are y'all's thoughts? Did y'all see any movies over Thanksgiving break? Please let me know in the comments below. I always greatly appreciate your comments. Also, out of these movies, which one do you think was the best? Do you think Ralph Breaks the Internet is the best movie for the holiday season? Creed 2? Maybe you saw Robin Hood. Maybe you have a different opinion. I would love to hear your thoughts on that as well. Also, guys, if you would like to support me, please go to Odin's movie blog or go to my new channel, Welcome to Asgard. Welcome to Asgard is where I'm going to be posting all of my live streams from now on. So I'm going to be doing my live streams as normal, but only now they're going to be on the Welcome to Asgard channel instead of the Odin's Movie Blog channel, to try and see if I can work my way around this algorithm stuff. It doesn't seem to be working, but who knows? We'll see what happens. You know, if I have to transition back over to the main channel, that's great. But I think it would be a cool experiment just to see if having another channel dedicated solely to live streams. But I'm also doing a bunch of vlogs as well. So I did a Black Friday video where I talk about the 2 movies that I bought for Black Friday, and I talk about everything else. Also, you get to see my dogs, and my dogs are very cute, so I recommend that you go check out the channel for that. But guys, I would greatly appreciate any support that you might be willing to give. But guys, if you like this video, hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe. It helps me out a lot. You are all amazing and beautiful people. Have a great day, and as always, God bless.